Many Singaporeans underestimate the importance of time when it comes to their property journey, especially when it comes to selling and buying their HDB. That is why today I'm going to share with you everything you should know about time in Singapore's property market. So when we talk about timing, this is a very interesting topic that a lot of people are curious about. When we talk about timing the market, we must understand that property is a cycle, right? There will be the high time and then there will be the low time. As of now, we are close to the peak point. In fact, we have already came down from that peak cycle. So we are right now at the beginning stage of correction. Of course, the best time to sell is when the market is at its peak. However, there comes another question. Toby, if I were to sell my house at the peak, wouldn't I be buying the next house also at the peak? When we look at it, it is during the peak market that the volume of the transactions are generally higher, because when owners get to sell their current house at a higher price, they will able to profit more, and when they are able to profit more, they will have more cash on hand to upgrade. That is why when you see at a high time market, there will be more transactions, there will be people buying and selling. Would it be wise to sell high and buy high? Even if you buy at the high point, the question is not about your entering as well. It will be also about when do you exit the market? When do you sell? Because if you were to sell at the next peak, then there will also be profit, because from the previous peak to the next peak, this current peak will be higher than the previous peak. That is why you will still be able to make money from your property. So when we talk about a property cycle, generally it comes with 4 stages. Number 1 would be the beginning, right? We call it the recovery stage, whereby the market just bottomed and is at the recovery stage. And then number 2 will be at the peak, whereby the market has reached its peak. And then number 3 will be correction, whereby the things are starting to go downwards. And then probably there will be the number 4, which is the lowest point of the market. So these are the 4 points in the property cycle. So people will ask, when is the best time to buy? Technically, the best time to buy is when we are at the lowest point. However, when we are at the lowest point of the market, do you have the confidence to enter the market? Because it's very easy to say sell high and buy low. In theory, it is very simple and very logical. However, in the reality, it is not that simple. Otherwise, everybody will be able to time the market perfectly. And we understand that it is much more to a property dealings. There's so much more emotions, financial position, which position you are in when you want to enter the market. There's one more important aspect, which is the timeline of selling and buying. This is very crucial for the homeowners doing it. We need to plan the timeline in such a way that it will be seamless for the property owners to sell their house and move to the next one. Whether we can buy first or not depends on your financial position. I always ask homeowners, do you have the finances to fully purchase the unit that we want to buy first? If the answer is no, then we will proceed on to doing sell and buy concurrently. If you learned something from this video, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss the next one. When we plan for the selling, we got to plan the whole timeline, even after the completion of the sale and the completion to the buying. The owner doesn't need to have a place to stay or somewhere else to rent. So we got to plan it in a way that the owner will still be currently staying in their previous flat before they shift into their new flat. So a lot of people will ask, is it wiser to buy first because I want to select a house that I like before I commit to selling? And it is a valid concern. Yes, we are able to buy first, but we must have enough finances to make the purchase first. Otherwise, we'll be caught in a situation we will be pressured to sell off your existing HDB at a lower price just because we want to meet the timeline for the commitment that you have made to purchase first. So to always avoid that, we only have a house to sell and we want to sell the house at the maximum profit. That is why we always advise clients to sell and buy concurrently. When it comes to selling, there's only one home you're able to sell. And when it comes to the buying, there are many more choices, meaning to say there's many more probability to find a home that will fit your criteria. So we got to do the things that is more difficult, more challenging, which is selling. Why? Because when it comes to selling, other buyers choose our unit, not we choose other people, right? Because when it comes to buying, we will be the ones choosing other people. Buying something is easier because we get to choose the unit. That is why we need to do the thing that is more difficult. So when we talk about the timeline of selling and buying a HDB, generally, when it comes to selling, it will take about 3 months plus, and when it comes to buying, it's also going to take the same. So when we want to make this whole transaction to be seamless, that will require us to take extension and also a longer submission period. When a buyer plays an option fee to buy your unit, $1,000, there will be a 21 days. These 21 days is actually for the home buyers to apply for the loan and also for them to do the valuation. After everything is okay, they will exercise within the 21 days. They will place another $4,000 exercise fee. So here comes the longer submission period, whereby we will negotiate with the other party for a 30, 45 days or even 60 days submission period. This is actually to buy us time to find for the next house. That is why we will plan in such a way that everything will be smooth sailing. Thereafter, when it comes to submission, it will take a couple more weeks and eventually we will reach the sales completion. And after the sales completion, that is where we call the extension period. Meaning to say, after the official HDB completion, you will still get to stay in your existing flat because of the extension that you've taken. This is actually to buy us time for the renovation period for your new house. And when the renovation is done, you will be able to shift from your existing house to your new flat seamlessly without renting in the market. So to summarize, when it talks about selling, make sure whether is there any extension of a submission period and make sure the buyer exercise your option before you commit to your next purchase. That's for selling. As for the buying, make sure find a house that you like, option, exercise, and know whether the seller need any extension or not. Be very clear of the criteria so that we are able to plan a very smooth timeline. In summary, because there are so many dates and timelines to consider, it's important that you understand each and every one of the details or find someone who does so that you can sell and buy concurrently so that you don't have to rent or move twice. If you are planning to sell your current HDB at the highest price and buy the next one at fair value and you don't want to rent or move twice, I've created a free training video on how to do it. Click the link in the description to get free access.